Welcome to my channel, and today we are doing a review on the Cessna Caravan Professional by Black Square. And this aircraft has 4 variants. It comes with 4 variants, and all the 4 variants in total cost $64.99. So I'm just going straight right into pricing. So all the 4 variants cost $64.99. And the reason why I say 4 variants is because there is technically on the description you see 2 variants, but one is the actually three. You actually see three. So one is the passenger variant, which is $47.99, and then there is the amphibian and cargo package for $47.99. And the reason why it's 4 variants is because the cargo variant has 2 types of variants within that. So the first one is the super cargo master variant, which is the one we're currently in, and the cargo pod variant, which is the other one. So we'll look at all these variants along the way. So we'll look at these 2 cargo variants, the amphibian variant, and the passenger variant as well, and we'll review everything with those aircraft. So like I mentioned, pricing for the cargo and amphibian package is $47.99, and then just the passenger variant is $47.99. But if you want all 4 variants, you will get it for $64.99. Yes, so we'll just get into reviewing this lovely single overgrown Cessna 172. It's a turbine aircraft, of course. It's an interesting turbine aircraft. So this is the control lock. Just like in a lot of turbine aircraft, and your startup is all here. This is definitely steam gauge. The only thing that's glass that is right here. Aside that, everything else is steam gauge. It actually is sensitive to the way you start the aircraft. So this is the internals of it. Fuel selector. So you decide, you can basically just fly on either tank or both tanks, but me preferably I like to start with the left tank. Then if I'm low on the left, I switch to the right. Or if I want to operate on both, which is not a good idea, I would use both. But it's just like a Cessna 172 operates with gravity tanks, but it's fine. So this is the oxygen selector, whether you want it on and off, and then lighting. No, this is not lighting. This is the vent. This is the vent. Lighting is down here. So right here, the control lock is preventing it from moving. So lighting is right here. All these knobs here, and then this is the control lock for something. But if you're not sure about this aircraft, it does come with a manual. This is what the manual looks like. Yeah, so that's the manual. So you can take a read at that manual and everything concerning this aircraft. Now, this aircraft is very interactive, which is cool because not many of the Flight Simulator 2020 aircraft are interactive. This is also compatible with 2024, by the way, if you're wondering. So you can just open this and then open the ladder as well, and you can just step out. I'm using Chase Plane as my camera, so it's all good. You can also open this in here as well and close that. That's fine. You can get beef, but before you close this door, you need to stow the ladder in first and then close the door. That's pretty much how it works. And then you can open it, stow the ladder, bring out the ladder, or take it out and then put it back in. But now we'll just put in the control lock because we're not flying. And this fire extinguisher textured, and that's everything down there. I'm not sure if we could open this, but we probably can. But if the ladder is released, and you try to close the door, it doesn't close. So just keep in mind of that. And then this is the Oh, okay, it takes jet fuel. Cool. So this is the engine, turbine engine, similar to the PC-12 engines, maybe PT6. I'm not sure, but yeah, these are the textures. The blade looks feathered, which is good. We'll actually do some engine failures and all of them, and see how this aircraft glides. We always love to test the gliding characteristics on this aircraft. So you see, there's some details on the blades. I mean, forgive my graphics. And Black Square likes to add dirt and bugs on their liveries, which is awesome. So we're just gonna look around as well. So the chocks don't necessarily come in once you spawn. You have to put them on yourself, and I'll show you in a sec. So once you get into the cockpit, right? Oh, this door can open, by the way. So if you want to fly as a first officer as well, you can just shift your camera to the first officer. This is the keys to the cargo pod. I just noticed that. That's actually cool. You can bring the lander down. However, I will not be flying as a first officer today, so we can just close that. We'll take a look at what this key does, but before I do that, I'll just want to show you the cargo section a little bit. So this is the cargo section. The chocks were right here, so you can put them back here and then click on them to put them back. And then this is the insides of what it looks like. So each side has a max load capacity because of load requirements. So when you do weight and balance in aviation, right, each aircraft has a center of gravity, and you just need to make sure that you fill the aircraft correctly to a point. The aft of the aircraft, when I say aft, behind the aircraft, is not overloaded, or the front of the aircraft, which is like around here, is not also overloaded, because each side will give you a different behavior characteristic. So if you overload the aircraft rearward or aft excessively, it would cause you to have tail heavy characteristics. So meaning your tail, when you're taking off, you might get a tail strike because the tail is too heavy compared to the front. Or when you load the front, when you overload the front, it will give you nose heavy characteristics, meaning the nose it will be hard to take off, first of all, and you're more likely to go into a wheelbarrow and prop strike the aircraft. So if you see here, it has the loading requirements, which is very cool. 75%. I do not know what that is, but based on my aviation knowledge, that is what I could explain in terms of loading capacity for aircraft. So you see, it says here in the front 1780 and aft 320. And it says if load in zone 5 exceeds 400 pounds, a partition net is required aft, or load must be secured to the floor. So that's probably for in case if you take off, the load does not fall onto the side and cause a weight imbalance shift, which can cause aircraft to crash, which can cause you to stall and crash, just like that 747 that took off and the load compartment broke and it crashed. It stalled right after takeoff and just crashed. It was a long time ago, but yeah, you see, it's each zone. So zone 5, zone 4, zone 3, zone 2, zone 1, and zone 6. So each zone has load requirements and max load capacities. So you just need to fill it accordingly so that you do not overweigh the aircraft. It's probably the same on each side, regardless of the side. So this opens as well. So you just need to open that, and then that opens as well. And then you can step out, and then this is what it looks like, which is cool. It even has something here. So max load behind barrier, 3,400 pounds in total. So this is for in the US, because if this was in the UK, this would be in tons. So tons, tons. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And this is the tire textures, which is good. Tire textures look great. Pretty much look scratched Also in the main gear, sorry, in the nose gear as well, they look like that as well, which is good. I'm already beginning to love this aircraft. Goodbye to the default Asobu Cessna 28, but hello to this, honestly, because the Asobu 28 was so basic. I mean, you can still fly those, they're not bad to fly, but if you're looking for realism, this is perfect. This is good for you. Yeah, so we just head back to the cockpit, and the EFB is right here. So the EFB has everything you need, just like in the Pro version of the Baron and the Bonanza. There are Pro versions of those. I did a video on that as well. So all the Pro or professional versions of Black Square products have this EFB, and each EFB has different avionics or type of avionics. So there's the Garmin 530 and the Garmin 750. I do not know about these. I think these are on fighter jets, but let's take a look. And then we just confirm. There you go. So this is what it looks like. And then we can just put this here and confirm, and let's take a look and see what it looks like. Yeah, so looks like something in a Cessna 172. So we just have this and just click on that, change it, and let's see what it looks like. So if you want to inspect what all these look like, there you go. This looks like what was in the turbine fighter, the fighter jet that we did a video on, the T6A. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. Something in the T6A would have. You can check out that video as well. And yeah, so just switch back to the Garmin 750 or whichever. Yeah, the Garmin 750. The Garmin 1000 is bigger than that. So yeah, so this has different selections, and you can select them accordingly. We just do realistic yoke movement for realistic purposes. Cloud strobe effect, meaning when you're in the clouds and you turn on these strobe lights, it will make the lights coming out from the strobes very, not bright, but it will spread across the cloud, so it will make it harder to see. So your visibility will be more strained if you do that. I do not know what this does. Show co-pilot inside. Oh, that's what it does. We can turn that off. I mean, we want to do single engine operations, but I mean, it's fine. So I do not know why the payload is not working, but normally there's an engine diagram right here. We'll just store that away for a minute. Let me just take a look if the battery helps. But normally, right, no, we don't need that today. But normally, right, something will show here. So this is the engine failure selection, and then everything will show right here. But the payload and engine will show later on. I think in the Pro, because it's cargo, I'm not sure why it's not showing, but in the other variants it's showing. But we'll take a look in the other variants. So right now we can store this away, and then we can get going. So first, right now we have our chocks. We will not be using the checklist today. We'll just go ahead and just fly this naturally. So first we'll do one touch and go. Actually, we'll do two touch and goes. Make sure we're on the center line. So the chocks is there. We'll do two touch and goes. Make sure we're on the center line, and then we would do one stop and go just to see how it behaves on short field. And then we would do an engine failure as well, just to see how this aircraft glides. We always love to do engine failures, don't we? So we'll do that, and then we'll test it out, and then we just show it just to show you the gliding characteristics of this aircraft. So we'll just start it. The sound is also very good, so there'll be points in time where I will be quiet, so just enjoy it and have fun. Just if you have any comments about this aircraft, feel free. We might just go through this guy, because honestly we do not care. we're going to be as realistic as we can in this video. I am not sure where the wind is coming from, so we'll just rely on the windsock. If we have to track back to the correct runway, we will do so, but we're just going as realistic as we can. So we'll start it and we'll talk about the aircraft as we're going. So battery, select this to normal. So we'll not turn on the avionics yet, we'll just start with this. So starter, then we'll move this to full prop, and then we'll wait right here. And then add introduce fuel. We forgot to turn on our selector. This is why it's important to use a checklist. So there we go. So that's the fuel gauge right here. This will tell you how much fuel you have remaining. So on both tanks, this is how much fuel we have, which is enough. We don't need anything else. And then how much fuel you're using in the moment. So right now we're using 1,000 whatever this is of fuel. And this is our RPM gauge, because it's a single, we don't have two. So this is our RPM gauge, our torque gauge, and our ITT gauge. This is mainly for startups. So yep. And then our I think NG gauge or N1 gauge, I'm not sure, but yeah. So now that we have the engine started, we can turn our ignition off and then turn this on, and now we can turn our avionics on. We will not be using any avionics, so let's see how this aircraft looks at night. So I'll turn on the nav light night, and right here I'll turn all of them on. Actually, matter of fact, just everything, so that we just take a look at what it looks like at night, and then I will just turn go dark. So pretty much this is what it looks like at night. So this is what it looks like inside. Cabin is dark, there's lighting in the cabin, so you can do night flights, no worries. So over here, right, just put this away. Over here, right, this is the lighting knobs, right? See, light bright, and it tells you that the black dots, which is the ones that with the white on the edges, is this one, and the ones with the colored white inside it is this one. So you just follow that. So this will be for that, this will be for that. We'll just turn everything on, and this will be for that, this will be for that. So these black stuff is the lighting, which is cool. So you can do night ops with this aircraft, and you shouldn't struggle to do that. So this is what it looks like at night. This is the interior look at night. And this is what it looks like outside. That's fair. Alright, so now we'll send it back and we'll put it back to day. Yep, that's good. So this time is fine. Realistic yoke movement, so that's what it's doing. Because the prop is spinning, it will push airflow from the prop is causing the elevators to move, and that will cause this effect right here. Because even if you're flying a single engine aircraft like a Cessna 172 or a Piper Cherokee, it does happen. Let's say you move the RPMs to 2000, doing your run up, the yoke will start to move, so you have to like hold it pretty much. But it looks a bit annoying, because even when I'm holding it, it's still doing the realistic yoke movement. So we might just have to turn it off. pretty much, and then just put it there. It looks very annoying though. So we'll just turn off all our lights and just get going. Oh well. So this is the taxi lights, and landing lights can go off for now, as well as cabin lights, and just leave it at that. We do not need any anti-icing because the temperature is looking good today. But first, let me just deal with this. Perfect. Okay. So we have both the Garmin 530 and the Garmin 750, which is fine, which is good. You just set that to GPS. Okay. All right. Now we can taxi. So one thing, I use the quadrant, the Bravo quadrant. So there we go. So the thing is, one thing I've noticed is I do not have to go into the beta range detent. I just need to push the lever backwards, and it's in beta mode. I'm not in the beta detent on the quadrant. So I just need to shift to idle. You hear that click. When you're in idle, you hear a click. That tells you that you are in idle mode. So this is probably heating for the cabin or for pitot, whichever. We'll figure that out later. But for now, let's test this aircraft out. And then this is the flap selectors. So this flaps 10, flaps 20, just 3, and then full flaps, just 4 notches of flaps, or 3. So no flaps, flaps 10, flaps 20, so 3 notches of flaps, just like in a Piper. And then we have the aileron trim and fuel shut off. So yep, so today we are starting with the left tank. We have enough to do whatever, and then we'll just need to turn on the oxygen. We'll not be going to above 13,000 feet, so it's fine. So now we can get going. We'll just do it the realistic way, and not look out. We would just basically check where the wind is coming from. We'll not be using the METAR either. We'll just figure it out. So I'll just zoom right in to try and find the windsock and determine where the wind is coming from. I can't seem to find it though. I'll take a wild guess. Oh, alright, there the windsock is. So that means, yeah, the wind is coming from that way, which is fine. So now I can just turn the landing lights on, strobe lights on as well. I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit so I get enough space, but it's a short takeoff and landing aircraft anyways, so we can just do that. Set our trim. I mean, just to demonstrate, we can take off from here. I mean, the brakes are not as sharp, so, which is another realistic thing. So we'll just do a short field takeoff from here, and this is perfect. Like, this is enough to make us take off. So full power, high idle. That's the sound of this aircraft. You don't want to really over torque the engine, so I'll just push down a little bit on the torque, like somewhere here. But full power is good. It's fine. And then we just let go. Airspeed is alive. Rotate. Time to ground infect. Just stay there. Okay, now we can climb to our VY. Guys, I can't remember specifically where VY is, just taking a guess, but the VY and VX is in the manual, so just take a look at that. So now we can do flaps up. And if you noticed, when we took off, there is a white strip that will let you know if where the flap has reached. See that? See that movement? See that? And then see that white thing moving up there? That would also let you know where the flap is. So on the airspeed indicator, we have our operating range, so just be careful when you're releasing the flaps in those areas. Like I mentioned, this is an overgrown Cessna 172, so it's all good. Just all the Cessna 172 pilots out there, just remember that. So we'll just climb to about 1,000. No, we've passed 1,000. Like I mean, high enough, and then we'll stay right there and level off. I think here is good, and then we'll just reduce the power and then trim for it, because attitude power trim for climbs and leveling off after a climb. And then we cannot locate the airport, so let me just raise the wings a bit. Yep, so there it is. So we'll just turn and make our way to the downwind. But yeah, I would say the sound is actually not bad. It's okay. It's doable. One more thing I also wanted to show is you can tell the what level of voltage you have depending on your checklist. When you look on your checklist, so you can check your battery source, how much voltage is going through, and then your alternate source as well as your generator source. So right now we'll just stay on the battery source for now, but we're not necessarily generating power from the batteries, we're taking power from the alternator. So chip detector means we may have exceeded the prop range. We may have over torqued the engine to a point now it's not in good condition, so we'll fix that once we land. Actually, we can fix that now, and the best way to do that is by going to going here and just fixing that. See, engine condition 17%. So all I just need to do is just repair it. Once I repair it, see the chip detector has disappeared, but I mean, you can always do that, but for realistic purposes, you just keep it smooth. Alright, so now we can slow down to our flap or operating range. Just hold it right there. Reduce the power, and then 2 notches of flaps, so flaps 10, flaps 20, and then we just hold it right there. Then we'll add a little bit of power so that we do not lose airspeed. So with this landing, we'll not use beta, because I want to see how the aircraft performs without beta. So there's the runway. Our base might be bad, but it's fine. So I'm just gonna do power idle at this point. There's the click, and we're currently at Aspen, so it's actually a good place to try out aircraft. The runway is long enough, so we'll just initiate our full flaps right here, and if we're high enough, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I don't care how high I am right now, I'm gonna fly over the runway for a bit, and I'm gonna land the aircraft without beta range. So right now we are high, we're not gonna try to descend, we're gonna just fly over the runway for a bit, like maybe to like 2/3 of the runway, because the runway is divided into 3 parts. Yeah, it's always advisable to land 1/3 of the runway when you're approaching it or landing. In case, even in an event of an engine failure, you're supposed to land 1/3 of the runway. So we'll not be trying to land on the touchdown zone, but we'll just move in the middle like to 2/3 of the runway coverage, and then we'll try to land from there, so past the touchdown zones. So if you notice, 1/3 of the runway is from here, actually from the displaced threshold to the 1500 mark for the touchdown zone. Second one is from the 1500 mark to the other touchdown zone at the other side for 1500, and the last side, the last section of the runway is from the 1500 to the end of the runway. So that's how runways are divided. So I'm gonna keep the speed right here. I'm not gonna try to land this aircraft, so flaps is full. Right, and we're gonna not use beta range, but we're gonna land somewhere here. So power is idle. And here the click, no beta range. So we're gonna level off and then keep it right there, center line. The aircraft is trying to climb a bit. No, hold it. This aircraft likes to float a lot, so just always make sure you're on the approach speed. I'm gonna tilt. Yeah, we stalled. No beta range. So you see, without beta range, even I'm not even applying any brakes, but the aircraft is slow enough to taxi off. So I can just start applying brakes right now. And then there it is. Even from here, we can do a takeoff. So we'll just do a short few takeoff again. So I'll just do 2 notches of flaps actually from here. Oh, actually 1 notch is even enough, because this aircraft has enough power to do that. Still holding the brakes. I do not want to over torque the engine, so I'm just going to add a little bit of prop, and then I'm going to add full power. Yeah, right there is perfect. Yeah, a little bit. Yep. So full power. Release the brakes. Airspeed is live. Maintaining center line. Then I rotate here. VX. Then I get into ground effect. Let the airspeed climb. The moment the moment we start climbing. Okay, now we're beginning to climb. Flaps in stages. Then we can pitch for VY, which is somewhere here. Okay, good. So now we're gonna land this aircraft with beta range. But don't worry, we'll not be doing this with all the other variants. We're just taking a look at the other variants and how they behave, and then just an engine failure. That's all we're gonna do. We'll not do any touch and goes, just one landing with the variants and then touch and go. But I just want to use the cargo super cargo master mod to start this video. So we're gonna turn upwind and flaps are up. Sometimes if you like, you can just put it to low idle on approach if you want, but I've not seen anyone do that, so I wouldn't recommend it. So just put it on high idle. We're not trying to over torque the engine, so I'll pull back a little bit on the prop lever, like right here. During cruise flight, you'd have to actually push it all the way down to get enough torque, but it's fine. So here is good, pretty much here. So we're turning, perfect, we're right here. Chip detector, so that means we we didn't take care of the engine properly, so which is fine. Engine condition is 15%, so this aircraft is very delicate, so just keep in mind. I actually don't like the side of that, so that's why I keep touching it. So we're gonna level off right here. We're not gonna be climbing. I'll just reduce the power a little bit and then trim. But we're good. So let me take a look at my wingspan and see the level it's at. We're very close. So we're too close actually, because the tip of your wing is supposed to be passing on the edge of the runway like that, but we're very close. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend our downwind to right about here, in between the curves of these two mountains, and then we'll proceed to do make our base turn. That way we have a longer approach. So we're gonna do exactly what we did again, come in high, and once we come in high, we're gonna land on the second part of the runway and use beta range this time, and see how quick this aircraft stops. So just keep in mind for that. So right now we'll just slow down here. The aircraft may climb a bit, but yeah, we'll just slow down right here. Okay, it's not slowing down. Just do that. Okay, 2 notches, and now we can start our turn. Can even use this to get a hang of instrument time, or like, you know, get familiar with instrument flying on this. Definitely VATSIM compatible, because most people don't like to fly these types of aircraft in VATSIM. Everyone flies the jets in VATSIM, which is not that challenging if you ask me. I prefer to fly these aircraft because you're slower, you're much more in the way of others, so it puts a lot of pressure on you as a pilot in command in VATSIM, so, which is awesome. So this time I purposely made us higher, and actually I'm gonna keep us here, and then we're on 2 notches of flaps already, so we're just gonna keep it there. Once we here it's fine to actually put full flaps, and I'm gonna keep it here for a minute because we're very high. I just want to show you how quick this aircraft can stop even if you're high, or how this aircraft can descend without gaining airspeed. So right now we're at exactly 80 knots, pretty much around that point, and we're going to begin our journey to land this aircraft in the second part of the runway. So I'm gonna put power to idle, click, that's the click right there, and the wind is a headwind, so it doesn't matter which direction we slip. So I'm gonna do a forward slip so that we do not gain airspeed. So forward slip, and then I push the yoke down, and if you notice, we are not gaining, we're descending, but we're not gaining airspeed. So I just need to turn more into the direction of the runway. This is honestly my favorite maneuver to ever do in an aircraft, especially single engine aircraft. You cannot necessarily do this in jets because jets have different behavior characteristics, or tuner aircraft. So, and you see, just like that, we are at a good height without stalling the aircraft. We have descended without increasing airspeed. At the same time, we have not stalled the aircraft while doing this, remember. So I would exit out of the slip and just be in line with the runway without losing airspeed. So I'll just increase the power a little bit, and then I'll just keep it right there, and then power idle. There we go, and then hold it right there. Oh, sorry, float. Yep, and then beta range. So this is beta range. That's how it sounds like. And then brakes. Once you hear the click, you know that you're back to normal throttle power. So we're gonna hold it there. So this the first time we did stop before this taxiway, I'm not sure, but you can go back and check. Same thing, same performance, and we still landed within the 2/3 of the runway section. So we're gonna try this again. We'll just leave this prop setting right here, and then I'm just gonna go right at this power setting. Yeah, should be good. And and then 2 notches of flaps right here, and then now we're gonna do the engine failure. Airspeed is alive. Alright, so VX getting to ground effect. Airspeed is increasing. Airspeed is increasing. Now we're entering into a climb, and then flaps in stages. And then we climb to VY and then trim for that. So far everything in this aircraft is looking great. Honestly, I cannot complain. Black Square is really doing the most. Honestly, I'm waiting for the King Air to arrive. I can't wait for Black Square to release a professional King Air. That'll be perfect. That'll honestly be my go-to aircraft for bush trips, you know. So I'll also do a review on that should Black Square ever release a video on that, you know. So I think that's all that is left, because they've done the Bonanza, they've done the Baron, which is the twin version of the Bonanza, and then they've done the Cessna Caravan, which is what we're in right now, and all that is left is the King Air, because Black Square made versions of the Asobo turbine aircraft, which were there before the professional versions arrived. So best believe each professional version has a default Black Square version from Asobo. So the Baron, the Beechcraft, and the King Air, and they all have Black Square versions. Now Black Square has released professional versions, and the only thing left is the King Air version, which will be amazing, honestly. It will be perfect. So Black Square, if you come across this video, we would like to see the King Air, the professional King Air version for this, you know, because you've done the Bonanza, you've done the Baron, you've done the and now you've done the Cessna 208. Now it's just the King Air that's left. So yeah, more on that. So now we're just gonna do a normal landing. Actually, we'll just fill the aircraft, the engine at this point. We'll do the engine failure right now, and then go ahead. So right now, let's say it fails. So just to preserve battery power, I'll just turn off the avionics because we don't necessarily need it, and I'll pitch for the battery is still on because I'll need flaps. So I'm just gonna trim right here. What's the red annunciator saying? So low oil pressure, which is fine, and I'm gonna feather the props just to prevent any drag from occurring. There we go. Right, so we're high, which is perfect. So now, because we're gonna make the runway, right, and we are off the center, we're gonna just full flaps right off the bat, and I'm gonna go into a forward slip, more aggressive than I would want it to be. So you see, there we go, and the propeller is gonna keep spinning because it's windmilling, so it's air is passing through the props. So I'm just gonna keep it like this, just keep going. Hopefully we survive. I mean, we always survive our engine failures. The only time we died and our engine failure was on the King Air in 2024. More on that video. it's also in my list. You can go check it out. That was when I tried 2024 for the first time. Alright, so now we're at the center of the runway. Now we've made it with full flaps, and now we can exit out of the slip and point the nose down so we do not stall and get a hard landing. So we'll just pitch the nose up because we're getting close, and we're gonna hold it their airspeed is bleeding off. We're not staying to line. It's an emergency, so it doesn't matter. Okay, that was a bounce. Climbing a little bit. Now the aircraft is gonna drop. Yeah. So there we go. We've touched down in a failed state, which is great, honestly. So I'll just send the flaps up and just kill the battery so that we do not destroy, like, you know, run out of battery. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I don't know whether the props are still spinning. Oh, I forgot. One interesting feature about the props is it's realistic, so it's gonna keep spinning even though the aircraft is turned off. So we're still moving because, you know, I have not hit the brakes yet, and I want to see how much this aircraft can keep going even when you don't hit the brakes. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's not supposed to keep spinning like that. It's supposed to stay off. Yeah, it's good. I think it's good. It's just me doing that. So it's set to off. So it's gonna keep rolling. It can keep rolling, so you have to hit the brakes. So there we go. So that's the Cargo Master variant. So now we'll head in the passenger variant. We'll try that, and then we'll try the amphibian variant. All right, so now we are in the Cessna 208 passenger variant. So yeah, pretty much the same as the Cargo Master, which is good because there is nothing underneath. Like, there's no pod right here. Actually, the Cargo Master has the pod underneath as well, but it doesn't have windows. Like that. It doesn't have windows. It just has that and then the door. Then the cargo pod has the windows, but it's cargo. So this is how the Cessna 208 should look like. Very long. If you look at it in comparison to the Asobo Cessna 208, like no diss to the Asobo 208, but like this is how it actually should look like. Very long looking, you know, very long looking and very interesting. I used to not like this aircraft, honestly. Before I started flying, I used to see it looked so ugly because of that bulging thing below it. But now that I've actually flown in it and seen how it looks like, it's actually not a bad aircraft, you know. So when you step out, right, same thing as the last time. There's nothing down here. It's just the landing gear, which honestly looks great. So we can just head into the cockpit. So you can do the same thing at the doors, so it's fine, and then we can close it later. So this is how the passenger variant looks like. Very cool. Seat textures look great. There's no armrest because, again, it's a Cessna 208. So this is like a commuter aircraft. We have this door right here which opens for both sides. I think this is the cargo side where you bring I lied. So this is the cargo side. So this is where you bring cargo in, but this is where passengers board. Actually, so because it has a staircase, so passengers board through here. Whoops! I just need to be careful next time. So they board in, and whoever got booked the front seat takes the front seat. I'm not sure how booking works in these aircraft, or maybe you can just sit anywhere. It looks like the left side has only one chamber of seats, which is cool. This door is for pilots only, so the pilots come through this door. So yeah. And then I'm guessing the armrest. Oh wow, the armrest does move. I'm guessing the cargo variant does that too. So the armrest does move, which is cool. So this door is for pilots only, but this is a cool view of what it looks like in a passenger view as well. It's actually not bad sitting from here, and then that's it. Like the cockpit, the blinders and stuff like that. So that's probably lighting, and then where the PA, your voice comes through as a pilot, where you're announcing your stuff, because they will not be able to hear you from all that noise. Where's the AC? So I'm guessing this is the air conditioner heater, and then this is where cargo is loaded onto, and cargo might be put here, like in this location, I'm guessing. And let's see if there's any cargo allowed. Not necessarily cargo, but luggages. So baggages. So max baggage 325 pounds. Refer to the weight and balance data for your baggage, just like I talked about in the cargo pod variant, where weight and balance, center of gravity, is very important in loading these types of aircrafts, and so that you prevent yourself from dying. So let's see if there's any. There's nothing here because it's not the cargo variant. Okay, that's cool. So we can close all the doors and just fly this aircraft. So we've already showed how short this aircraft can land. We'll just try an engine failure as well to just see how this aircraft does. We'll do a normal landing later, and then try the amphibian version. So with the amphibian version, we just have to go probably in the water or something, you know. So we'll just start all the engines. Whoops. So full props forward. Start the engine. Introduce fuel. You select our left tank. This is why it's important to have a checklist again. Now we can turn on our avionics. Good, and that noise gets to stop. Okay, turn on the starter. Sorry, turn off the starter. So let's see. Aux fuel pump on. We can turn that off. Door warning. Oh, we did not close. See, naturally the chocks don't come off, so just remember to take the chocks off. And then we didn't close that door. So guys, you don't have to necessarily do all of this. I just love to do that. So I just want to fix some stuff right here. So just go here. Go to the engine side and just fix stuff. Yep. Okay, there we go. And then aux fuel pump on. I do not care. Just turn this. So this is for night and this is for day. So it's not too bright, because that glare effect can cause you to lose visibility on your landings. So yeah, so nav lights, everything can come on. This for taxi lights. Yeah, pretty much. And then we can get going. So we'll just do a normal takeoff and get going. So set our trim. So no, it'll be a no flap takeoff, which is a normal takeoff. You can take off without flaps in this aircraft. So no question. Oh, actually we should actually we've never done crosswind landings before on a review, so we'll try that after this. It's like we'll do an engine failure, of course, and then we'll try a crosswind landing. So, or whichever is first. I mean, we don't need that much of a runway to do a normal takeoff, so we can just take off from here. So first, after this, we'll do the crosswind landing, and then we'll do the engine failure. I mean, it's fine. I prefer to do it that way. That way, I don't have to restart the engine. But before I take off, I just remembered. Let's take a look at the EFB. So it's pretty much the same thing. It shows you. I do not know why I wasn't showing the cargo variant, but it shows you your seat. So let's say we load it. It doesn't show anything, but there is someone like heavy sitting there. And then the cargo door, you can close it, can open it, you can refill the oxygen, you can put in the wheel chocks from here. You don't need to be doing everything I was doing. Then this is your engine parameters, engine conditions at 100%, electric, cabin pressure or cabin pneumatics, so it's just telling you how hot or cold the cabin is, and then the failures. I do not know why it wasn't showing on the Cargo Master variant, but here it is. This is how much fuel you have on both tanks. So we will not be having the co-pilot today. We'll just turn that off, and then cloud strobe effects is turned on, and then we'll have our fuel. So we can just reduce that. We don't need a lot of fuel today, so we'll be pretty much light. So we'll just go to 40 gallons and then 30 here. Yeah, pretty much right there is fine. So 40 on each side, and there it is. It's dropped. We don't need that much fuel. So now we can just, and if you notice, all the Black Square production professional aircraft have this EFB and this engine parameters, just to, you know, show you the condition of everything. That's one thing I like about the professional stuff. All right, so we're not doing full power. I'll just reduce the torque a little bit. So we'll just do this much so that we do not over torque the engine. Then I'll let go, so because it's not a short fuel takeoff. All right, so airspeed alive. All right, and then rotate. Nice. All right, so the passenger variant flies very well. I forgot to add weight to it, but when you add weight to it, just so you know, it does affect the performance of the aircraft, obviously, but realistically it does affect the performance of the aircraft. Your stall there you go. Your stall speed may increase. This aircraft, I think, may be heavier than the cargo variant. So what I was doing just now would have caused me to stall, because I'm used to, you see, I just got comfortable with the Cargo Master variant, and we were climbing at that speed, but yet we did not get the stall horn or run into slow flight. So stall horn just basically means you are about to get into a stall, but it doesn't mean you're stalling. So you're basically in the borderline slow flight to a stall, pretty much. So yeah, just remember that whenever you receive a stall horn. See, I'll just show you for a sec. So this is the stall horn, but we're not stalled yet. See, we're not stalled yet, but when I do this, now we are stalled, and I have to apply full power. Okay, that's a slip. Ooh. Sorry, that's not good. But yeah, that should show you not to do that. So I'll just take off from here. Yeah, that was not supposed to happen, but never again would I demonstrate a stall very low like that. But yeah, so forget that ever happened. We're just moving on with the video. So we're just gonna land this aircraft where we're supposed to. I hope I didn't lose the field. Oh, there it is. So we're gonna turn around and just go back. But yeah, this happened on takeoff, I guess. Okay, so we'll get higher. So I'm guessing the glide characteristics are gonna be different in this aircraft, for sure. Because just now I pitched to 60 and it started stalling. So, and then we almost went into a spin. But I corrected it. But because we're too low, we couldn't recover. So anytime you're going to a spin, the ailerons are less effective, and rudder is the best way to recover with full power. I didn't add full power right away. I delayed in that. That's why we ended up crashing. So I'll keep climbing a little bit because I actually want us to be high. Because the higher the better, you know. And when the nose is dipping, when the wing is dipping like that, or the aircraft wants to dip, just stay coordinated by applying rudder. It's the best way to always stay coordinated. Okay, so let me look down. Okay, so I'll just wait a bit because we're not abeam the aerodrome yet. And I'm guessing because of the performance of the aircraft, there's density altitude, so this is preventing us from getting a good climb out rate. Because normally, if there wasn't enough or there wasn't any density altitude, we would probably be getting about 400 feet per minute of climb. Alright, so we keep it right there, and then we can build the engine. I'll just turn off the avionics just so we don't kill the batteries. And then I'm gonna pitch for glide. I'll leave the battery on so that I could retract the flaps when needed. So I'm gonna further the props and then power idle. I'm gonna pitch for gliding speed. We're not gonna land 2/3 of the runway like we did in the cargo variant. We're gonna try and land as early as we can. So I'm gonna forward slip right now, and I'm gonna forward slip. This is not advisable. Do not do this in real life, but I'm aiming for the touchdown zone, like just right beyond it. It's fine. So yeah, slightly beyond it, not too far. Or maybe we might not necessarily make the touchdown zone. I would say it's pretty much unrealistic, so we just keep going. Point is, we just make the runway at this point because we're not gonna make the touchdown zone. We're gonna land past it. Still in forward slip. Oh, maybe we might actually make it. Just need to flip the wings over a little bit. Nice. Now we're making it. Still in forward slip. Yeah, we missed the touchdown zone, but it's okay. It's an emergency, so exit out of the slip and just hold it, but we won't stall. We'll just point the nose down a little bit and then pitch up. Not too much. There we go. Oh, I hate this bounce stuff. I mean, not bad. Yeah. So we'll just restart the aircraft and then we'll proceed to do crosswind. But hold on, I need to set up the crosswind first. So just give me a sec. Alright, so now we've set up for the crosswind. So if you can see the windsock, it's crosswind, so the wind is coming from the west, pointing this way. So our ailerons or cross controls will be this way. So yeah, we're gonna do that. So we're gonna start the engine and get going, and then we'll try this crosswind landing and see how this aircraft behaves during crosswind. All right, awesome. So now we have that set up. We can do our takeoff. So it will be a short field takeoff. Right here is fine. And then just get going full power. Actually, like here is fine. So, cross correct. ITT gauges did good. I'll just reduce the prop lever a little bit. Reduce the load on the tires and take off. Point the wing, ailerons into the wind, or I'll just tilt the aircraft into the wind. Just let the aircraft weather vane in the crosswind, and I'll pitch down a little bit so we do not get into the stall again. But yeah, if you want to learn or read on the engine operations before flying this aircraft, so that you do not get a lot of chip detects or engine failures, read the black square Cessna Caravan manual, and it would help you with that. So flaps up. We should have gone into ground effect, but we just went straight into VX, which is wrong. We should not have done that. So yeah. Alright, here's good. So now the wind is coming from the west. It's gonna keep blowing us to the side of the runway. See? It's blowing us to the runway. So we're gonna turn this way. Just correct into the wind so that it doesn't blow us onto the side of the runway. So I'm just gonna stick this way and keep it that way. And I'm gonna point the nose this way, like further to the right, so that we do not like get pushed into the runway, and it would affect our base and our approach. So this is a crosswind landing. It's right above the limit of a Cessna 28, which is 20 knots of crosswind. That's the limit, because at the end of the day it's an overgrown Cessna 172. The limit for 172 is around probably 15 knots of crosswind. This one is just 5 knots extra because it's slightly bigger, has a higher maximum takeoff weight and a maximum gross weight compared to the Cessna 172. That might be the only reason why it's slightly higher, but in actual sense, this is just like a Cessna 172. It's just that the Cessna 172 is it's a prop, just a normal fixed pitch prop, and this is a turbine engine aircraft with a constant speed prop. Constant speed prop because of this blue knob right here. If it wasn't constant speed prop, it would just be the propeller and the mixture. So the mixture is the red button right here. So this red button, so it would just be this and this if it was a fixed pitch, but this is a constant speed propeller, and it's a turbine. That's the only difference between a Cessna 172 and this aircraft. And this aircraft is very popular for building turbine time and getting single engine IFR experience. So it's very good. So flaps, 2 notches of flaps, 1, 2. And then power idle. Power is already idle, and then we'll make the runway, so 4 flaps. In all these situations it looks like we're very high, so we're going to slip into the wind again. We're going to slip right now so we do not get over the touchdown zone. This time we're trying to make the touchdown zone. It's fine if we increase in airspeed a little bit. It's honestly fine, but right now we're just gonna keep it that way, and then still remain in the forward slip until we get to like a good height, because I can't see the poppy lights. Okay, our full flaps is already in place, so now we can exit out of the slip. And now the aircraft is gonna weather vane into the wind, so nose is in the wind already. And then add a little bit of power. Our approach is looking stable because we're descending a little bit too fast. We should be 500 feet per minute. Add a little bit of power. Alright, now right rudder and then crosswind input. So we're gonna let the inboard gear touch down first, then the outboard gear touch down later. Power idle. There we go. And then a power to idle, and then maybe beta mode, and then increase the crosswind controls just to prevent the wing from flipping over. Then maintain center line, power idle, and then we can come to a full stop right here. I mean, we can taxi off, but we are no longer in a crosswind, so now we are in a tailwind. So I'm gonna push this up. Actually, no, it's not up, it's up, because if it's down it will make us go faster. Or no, actually down, my bad. Now we're in a crosswind again, so now we can just do that. But this time we're gonna park into the wind. So we're not gonna see it's pushing us faster. We just started speeding up. And then ignore that, don't worry. Just gonna hold it right here. And then stop it, and then we'll park into the wind. So we're gonna keep it, turn off the avionics. And then power off. I do not know what's happening, but yeah, we'll turn off the fuel gauge. Turn that off. Oh, so that's what that alarm is for. Free selector. Power off, 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 and then whoops. That's actually to start the engines. And then we can further the props. I mean, just because of procedures purposes. But yeah, we'll just take a look at the amphibian version and see how it behaves. But yeah, this is actually cool. This aircraft is actually cool. So stay right out on the amphibian, and then we will spawn in the amphibian in just a few minutes. Alright, so now we are in the amphibian version. So yeah, again, this is the amphibian version, and just to remember, the cargo pod version is like this. It's like this as well, and has that difference between the cargo master and the cargo pod. But now we're in the amphibian version. So this one looks set up for both sea and land. So right now we're on land, and we'll go land over there, which shouldn't be an issue. And apparently operating this aircraft on the sea is very different from operating on land. So we're just going to check it out and see how it is without much wasting time. So this is how it looks like. The doors are also the same as in the cargo and in the passenger. So this is definitely a passenger mod aircraft as well. Seats are different in the passenger version. It was blue. This one is blue and with fabric. This one is leather. So doors are the same, passenger side, cargo side. So we're just gonna start this aircraft again, same thing, and then take off, and then we'll just land it with okay, actually we'll try an engine failure on this on land actually, and also on sea as well, and then we'll see how it actually behaves both on sea and land, and then we'll see how that goes. So now we're just releasing that. We'll just start the aircraft as usual. We'll just turn this on to avoid that noise. So turn this on. There it goes. It just silence it, because we learned from the other video. Oh, this looks to be different. So because because it's an amphibian version, it will show you that the gear is retracted and you can go on C, because the gear is not supposed to be down when you're on C. So we just start the aircraft, prop full forward. There we go, and then turn that to normal, and then off. The starter can go off, and this can go to normal, and standby electric power on. And turn that off. Generator is off, so we turn that on. And that's the ignition. This is the generator. Yep. So avionics. We don't need to do full flaps, we just do that. Just turn everything on, bro, we don't care. So now we're heading out. This feels weird. And it's taller actually. So our windsock says it's a crosswind, so it doesn't matter where we take off from. Interestingly enough, on my setup, this airport is not in database, so it's hard to do flights from this airport, but this is close to Chicago or here. I've forgotten the IQ. Actually, let's just get it right here. So it's crosswind, so it's a bit, because this is taller and lighter, it could cause the aircraft to flip over if we're not careful. So the IQ for this is Kilo Charlie Golf X-ray. So Kilo Charlie Golf X-ray. The taxiways look great, so we'll just do crosswind controls for now. Alright, perfect. The biometric pressure is set, so we're good to I don't know why that popped up, but it's okay. I mean, here is fine, we can take off from here, so just look at that, see how it flipped. It looks like it's gonna tip over. That's so realistic. So we're gonna take off and we're gonna land in it, and then we'll land on the beach with it. So flaps 10 actually, and we'll just do full power. Crosswind controls. Ooh, what is that? What was that? I do not know why that happened. I forgot to add full high idle. So now that we're here, the gear can go up. See, there it is. It goes up. So gear down. And that comes out and extends. Gear up. And it goes back in, and then that comes up, which is cool. So now we are set up. We are set up for the sea. So we can pretty much just land anywhere on the sea now. So just give me a second. So we'll just set up ourselves for approach. So we don't necessarily have to go to a seaport. We can just land anywhere here. So I'm gonna slow down a little bit. We just overstressed the aircraft, so I'm just gonna repair the engine. Alright, here's good. So I'm gonna slow down right here. That's the interesting thing about amphibians. You can pretty much land anywhere on the ocean because it's configured for that. So I'm gonna hold it right here and trim so that we slow down faster. This blue light is the cabin temperature. It's just letting us know that the cabin is colder. So yeah, I'm just gonna slow down a little bit so that we bleed some airspeed, reduce some power. Either ways, I want us to land before we cross that line. There we go, so we're slowing down. So now our touchdown zone is where this boat is. That's our touchdown zone. Then we're gonna stop before this other boat, in line with where the other boat is, so before this drench. So I would say the length of this entire thing, this land portion over here, is our runway, which is long enough.
Gear is up for water landing.
Perfect. See, it even lets you know. That's cool. That's awesome. Alright, power idle, and then we just hold it right there. See, it's water, so you can't really tell. Okay, that's a touchdown. Yep, it's bouncing. A bit hard though. I'm just gonna tilt because then I can see that the wind wants to drop. And it's a crosswind. The wind is coming from our right. So I'm just gonna keep it that way. So that's what it looks like on the water. So if you want to speed up, apparently you have to tilt, raise the nose up. If you want to slow down, point the nose down. So we're gonna we can't actually use the brakes here because we're not on land. We just need the viscosity of the water to slow us down. So we've reached the end of our runway, and then we can apply rudder and just turn. Then make our way and take off, and then come for a landing right here. So we're going to take off, and then we're going to turn left, and then we're going to set up for approach for this runway right here, and then we'll try an engine failure on after the go around actually. So flaps, we just set up the flaps right there, and then trim, and we're going to apply full power, and then with full aft. We are airborne, but we just have to keep it in ground effect. So this is similar to taking off on a soft field. Pretty much. Okay, now we can retract flaps. And we're successfully airborne. If you notice, it sounds a bit different compared to the passenger and the cargo. It sounds a bit different. It has like there's more charge to it, like a turbo charge. Alright, so now we can make our turn, flaps up. But if you want to avoid having to always change the engine condition every time you deteriorate the engine condition, just read the black square professional Cessna Caravan manual. That way it tells you the ITT starting up, because even just starting up badly could affect your engine durability. So just keep that in mind. And this aircraft has the floats at the bottom, so that could add some weight to the aircraft, and that would increase stall speed as well. But we're not gonna simulate that because, you know, we tried that before and it caused that to crash. So 2 notches of flaps. First one, second one. That's it right there. And then I'm gonna slow down a little bit. put it to low idle. There's the runway right there. So we're very high. We're gonna put full flaps and then power idle. Then gear down.
Yep, gear position. Yep, gear position. Yep, gear position.
Why is it saying that? So clearly this runway is displaced, so it's all good. So we're gonna forward slip right now.
Check gear. Check gear.
Gear is down for runway landing.
Cool, that sounds very cool. Exit out of the slip. All gears down. We have 4 greens because it's 4 landing gears. So oops, see, we're not supposed to touch down like that. We're off center line, but it's fine. Just start applying some brakes. So this aircraft wants to tape over, which is cool, but it's fine. So we're gonna go try again. Doesn't matter because it's crosswinds. We're gonna take off and do an engine failure. Just to full power. Yeah, full power. Yep. There we're going. Yep, see? This is why it's good to have crosswind controls. The wing just tipped over. I'm gonna trim a little bit. And keep it there. Honestly, this is gonna be my go-to for bush trips now. This is the real deal. This is the real Cessna 208, which is good, honestly. I recommend you guys get yours. You can just get the passenger variant for, like I mentioned, passenger variant is $47.99. The amphibian and cargo variant is $47.99, but together all of them would be about $64.99 pretty much. So the chip detector again, bro, we just have to repair the engine, but like it's fine. But yeah, so there's a suction gauge. That means it's powered by this. If you see this, there's gonna be a suction gauge somewhere. So gear is up though, and if you noticed, it would warn you once you're getting closer to the bottom. Like once you're getting closer to land, it will warn you that gear is down for water land, gear is up for water landing, gear is down for land, which is very cool. This is cool. Honestly, 5 stars for this aircraft. 5 stars. Flaps can go up. Yeah, please ignore the land textures, but yeah, ignore that. So this would test for engine fire. Forgot to do that in all the other variants. So that's what an engine fire sounds like. So the reason why it's blue instead of red is because it's showing you that it's ready for water landing. But if the red is just showing you that it's in the process of being retracted, the green shows that it's deployed. Red also shows that it's in the process of being deployed, so it either goes. So now we can fill the engine right here, and then feather the props. We can turn off the avionics. So I'm just gonna assume that the glide speed is more, and I'll just keep it right here. So as you see, vacuum low, which is normal. And I'm gonna turn off the fuel, but it's gonna make that noise, which I do not like. We're trading altitude for airspeed, which is crazy. So in this case, we have we're gonna kill ourselves. Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, no, we're not. I spoke too soon. See why it's not good to talk too soon. But anyways, we have two options here. If we're not able to make that runway, we can always go to the right and land on the water. But if we know very well, plain and simple, that we're making this runway, we're gonna land on it and deploy the landing gears because we have battery power. So we are at a point where I'm not sure we're reaching flap operating range, but I'm not sure the glide. I think the glide is around this airspeed. So we're just gonna keep it there. Hopefully we make it. I think, yeah, at this rate, judging by our descent rate, 500 feet per minute, which is good, we're making it. So I'll deploy the landing gear. May take a little while, but it will deploy.
Gear. Check gear. Check gear.
Okay, flaps
Check
1,
gear.
flaps 2, which
Check
is giving us a
gear.
little lift. Go
Check
flaps.
gear.
Now look at
Check
that.
gear. Check gear. Check gear.
Ooh,
Check.
Gear is down for runway landing.
crosswind is the other way. Okay. Good. Landed. See, this time the wing didn't tip off. Perfect. Nicely done. Alright. I'm not applying brakes though, so I'll just keep it right a buck, like right here. And then stop it. And then full stop. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it as that. Props is feathered, it's on a high idle. Battery can go off. This can stay there. Yeah, pretty much. Does this even have chocks? It does. It's crazy. Let's see how the chock. That's crazy. This is what the chocks look like. Okay. And this is how the. Wonder what this is though. What is that? Okay, guys, comment on whatever this is. Yeah, comment on that. I don't know what that does, but oh, that's cool. Geared. Wow, what is this? Whatever this is, please let us know in the comments. Whatever this is, but it seems to be doing something. Does it make the gear higher? What does it do? Yeah, so that's for the this actually looks cool. This actually looks cooler and behaves way more cooler than the other ones. That's sick. Whatever this is, please comment down below. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. This is the Cessna Caravan 208 Professional. Honestly, I would recommend getting this aircraft. Like I said, for all four variants is $64.99. For just the passenger variant is $47.99. For just the amphibian and cargo package is the $47.99. So the amphibian comes with the cargo package, which is this one, and then the cargo master that we did. They're both for $47.99, and then there is just the passenger variant that is for $47.99. So whichever is you're choosing, or if you want all of them, $64.99 at a go. So in that case, thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day, and bye bye.